to episode 25 of Jadoo Lifestyle Podcast. Jadoo Lifestyle, where you have a life and you can live it too. You can create a limitless life. What our podcast tries to accomplish is to give you, the business owner, or anyone who can benefit from our information, to give you some strategies that you could create a life that you love living, that you are not limited by your activities or doing one thing. For instance, as a business owner, whether you're doing one thing that you focus on that one thing because you want, like, say, for instance, your business, you want to make money with the detriment of everything else around you. As a human being, we have different facets of our life. We need to play in our life. We need to socialize. We need to have fun. And a lot of times we feel guilty because we're doing things we like and feel like we're leaving behind our business or our business activity, and so we won't be making money. I could tell you from my own experience that when I included a day to play within my schedule, I actually came back refreshed and better able intellectually to handle my business. I actually did more creative things. Now, as a business owner myself, I consider myself like a toddy of all trades. I have several different things I do. I'm an artist. I'm learning to paint with acrylic. I think I like watercolors better, but I'm doing acrylic for right now. I'm actually doing an online class on a Monday night with someone who's online and offering classes, a live class. So I could watch the video and then I could paint along, or I could paint it after. So that's one facet. Now, I am a published author also, and the first book that I published is actually a journal which I use with my coaching clients to help them to dig deeper within their psyche to see some of the thought processes that either hinder them or help them so that they could grow. If they're feeling stuck, they could actually grow. Now, one of the accomplishments with that is not that I got published, but I painted the cover of my book. And by the way, if you want to get a copy, you can go to lulu.com. The name of my book is WHY, W period, H period, Y period, question mark. It's a 30-day journal to help you to uncover some of the things that may be causing you to be stuck. Now, I'm also, when I started to play or to include play, I could tell you guilt was very prevalent in my life. And the first day that I decided to take off to play, I still didn't take the whole day off because, again, I had to work. I've been used to working. If I don't work, I don't make money. I'm self-employed, as you know, and, if I don't work, I don't get money. But the thing is that I really wanted to include some playtime. Now, I'm not yet physically, like this year I experienced bowling a little bit, but I'm not a very physical play person. So I chose to learn mahjong. I was living at this apartment and they have a clubhouse, and, the women got together 2 times a week to play. So I sat there, I looked at them playing for 2 weeks, and I picked up some of the strategies. Of course, I made mistakes, but of course I learned from my mistakes. So now I'm a very proficient mahjong player. And I'm fairly new considering that the other ladies that I play with have been playing it for years and years and years. So what's our topic today? Our topic is self-care. I know we've been covering a lot of that in the interviews that we've had and in some of my other podcasts, but today I want to focus a little bit on really strategizing on how you can self-care, take care of yourself. Some of the things that we think about self-care, when we think about self-care, we think, oh, I'm going to go get a massage, or I am going to get a spa day, or I'm going to the beach and hang out. And that's good. That's all good. But there's more, I think, to self care than just those things, although those things are important. And like I mentioned before, play is important, I think, because we need to give up our brains a little bit of a break to kind of regroup, something different, so that the brain could take itself away from this intensity of our business and focus on something else, a distraction kind of technique. So some of the things that I came up with when I looked at the word self-care, I one, the first thing we think about is our health. And that's important because without good health, we can't do anything else. We could spend all our health. There's a quotation that says we could spend our health getting money and then spend our money trying to get our health back. So, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get our health back because we're so far, our bodies are so far gone. And then, depending on what we put in it, the solutions that we find for the problems we have with respect to our health can be more detrimental as opposed to helping us. And a lot of times it stems from wanting a quick fix. Just give me a pill. I have a headache. Give me a pill. I'll take the pill and I'll keep going to work. But finding the root cause, why am I getting a headache? Did I not get enough sleep? Did I not get enough food? Did I eat the wrong food? What is happening with my body? And so until it becomes unbearable, and as you know, my background, I have been a body worker for the past 23 years, and my focus has been helping people get out of physical pain. And I could tell you, I've seen people who they come into me, I'm their last resort. They've tried everything else and they still have the pain, so they want to try this one thing. And by the time they get to me, they have already exhausted their finances in trying to find solutions. So finding the root cause, and that was one of the interesting things about developing the technique, the Jadoo technique. I found that physical pain can stem from a couple of things. One, misalignment of the joints, one joint being shorter than the other. And I'm sure many of you have been told one side of the hip is higher, one side of the hip is lower, whatever. Then the other thing would be structural misalignment. For instance, your job. If you sit at a desk and the desk is not ergonomically correct for your body, what happens is that your body, being this softer entity, will change compared to the desk. Now, if you work with in a setting where you have team members and you have cubicles, you may find that everybody has the same chair, same looking desk, same looking cubicle. And while that is uniform and it looks great, we humans are not cookie cutter. We are not uniform in that our body dimensions can be different. So one of the key things to developing my technique is I have dwarfism. What does that mean? Well, I kind of look normal in quotation, but yet when you look at me, the first question or the first comment would be, oh, you're so short. Well, what I found out with my body is that my torso is normal, meaning that if I went to buy a dress, I had to buy a dress that is an average regular dress. The problem is that my limbs are short, so therefore I would have to cut, part of the dress to make it shorter. Nowadays, you can find uh, dress items that fit me perfectly. Like, for instance, I would have to buy a capri pants, which would be capri down below the knee for a regular height person, as opposed to me, it would be a long pants. So that's where I get my long pants. I buy capri pants. So because of my dwarfism, the way that I was taught to do bodywork massage during my training, didn't work for me because we are taught to have the person lay face down and then you stand at the head of the table and you go down the person's back. Well, my arms are short, so therefore, if I did that, my entire upper body would be on top of the person, which is not really a good thing, especially if you have a male client. And well, let's say that it would not be a good thing. So I had to develop a way to actually get results for the client without my body being all over them. So I actually started doing sideline first to kind of counteract, but then I had to have the person turn too many times. So the next step was to do one side at a time of the body, and that has worked very effectively. In fact, it has if worked effectively for my technique because I could go down the entire one side of the body and the person would literally feel the difference one side as opposed to the other side. The next thing is that because I could go all the way down the body, I realized that the joints are all connected on that one side. And if I can release the joints, I can literally also help the other side as well as the side I'm working on. So, I had to devise a way to help myself take care of the clients and get results for them. The massage table was another item. Because of my torso, length of torso, and my limbs, I had to adjust the table to suit my body. I couldn't set it the way that they taught us to set it in school, so I had to devise my own method of setting it. And I'll tell you this, I taught massage and I taught my students how to set the table my way and then to set the table the way the books taught us. And my way, they said, eliminated the neck and back pain. So when you're working on developing self-care for yourself, you have to know what you do with your body, what's going on with your body. When you're trying to find the root cause of what's going on with your pain, your physical pain, you have to know, am I contributing to the pain or is something else contributing to the pain? So the three things that I found that I had to look at was your job, because you're spending at least 8 hours at the job and the desk and the chair and the ergonomics is actually going to cause the body to change. I also had to look at recreation. Recreation is when we play, we have fun we don't even think about what we're doing with our bodies because we're having fun. And the last thing that I had to look at was the medical history, your medical history, surgery scars, any accidents, any injuries, and putting those together, collecting the data from those, I was actually able to develop a customized treatment plan for each person. So no matter who came in and how many times they came in, each session with me was customized. So going back to healthcare and finding the root cause, you need to know what the root cause is. A lot of times what we do is we say, okay, I'm going to go to the doctor, I'm going to go to the clinic, I'm going to go to the emergency room, because we are of the opinion that the medical community, they're the experts and they will know what's wrong with us and they will fix it. But a lot of times the solution is a prescription for a drug, whether it's a pain pill or something else. The thing is that we have side effects to those drugs. And I remember I had one client that came in and he had severe back pain. He had gone to the doctor and he was told to go through physical therapy, 30 sessions. He had done that and he still had the pain. And so the doctor had heard that I worked on golfers and I helped them with their back pain. So he told them to call me and see if there's anything I could do. So when he called me, he said, hey, I'm not a golfer, but I have back pain. And